Hello everybody, it's me, Generic Pie, back with another video for you today, and this is the first game that I've played in the 2024 Lords of Middle-earth tournament. Very exciting, you get to watch me crash out in embarrassing fashion of yet another tournament, this time with Galadriel and Elrond involved. Apologies for the camera, I look like a spooky ghost because I'm recording this a bit later in the evening. But yeah, let's dive into it. So I was drawn against Vanali, who is the tournament organizer. She is like a super experienced player, knows the rules inside out. I'd say a tough draw. like I think yeah, I think I'd certainly not who I would have picked to play in the first round, but super great player, really nice person to play against. And she, because I was the highest seed, I got to choose. I decided to go as a free people first. I went with Narya Gandalf, and no one separated from the Fellowship. And so as a result, yeah, no tokens for the Shadow. She started with The Ring Is Mine and Mustlings of a Long Plan War. So that's the one that you need Shadow Nations Award to play. And I got Wisdom of Elrond and Mithril Coat and Sting. So Wisdom of Elrond, I like it a lot in Lords of Middle-earth because activating nations is a lot harder to do if they decide not to get the normal Witch King. Mithril Coat and Sting way too early. Yeah, Gandalf was not the guide for some reason. Right, so I got this very heavy movement turn 1, but only against one eye. So I'm like, okay, scary to move lots in Lords of Middle-earth, but you got to move. So let's see what happens. So I pass. Finale moves to Gorgoroth and to Near Harad. I move to Fellowship. Finale says, "Let's see if you're venting today." She rolls a 2, so I'm not yet at least. Army goes to Morannon. I do standard army moves to Westermere and All Forest Road. Isengard goes to war. I've got 2 extra character dice. What else am I going to do, really? Not going to play Mithril Coat. Got to just chance it, I think. Still pretty low chance that it's only like a 1 in 3 chance that I get hit, and then a just above 50% chance I get revealed. It's a 5, and it's a reveal. So, boo. And I make a fateful choice. I think almost every other game I've played of Lords of Middle-earth since I got stung early on by the balrog, in this situation, you take the high pass. But since I've decided not to separate anyone from the Fellowship, I was like, I'm gonna chance it, and go to Hollin and see if I can just. I know that Vanali's going to get the balrog, but since Gandhi's dead, I've only got a 1 reveal. Maybe the balrog can kill Gandalf for me. You know, maybe Gandalf can be. You'll be like the book. Gandalf can have a lovely fight with the balrog, and we can sneak through Moria, and then we're on our way. That's my plan. So yeah, always good to just take big risks in the really important games. That's a really smart thing to do. So yeah, so I reveal into Hollin, resolve my hunt damage. Naturally, the chief is on me straight away. That blood-sucking hound dog piece of shit. I hide. Vanali starts the inevitable endless cycling. Plays Rings Mine, cycles into Black Captain Commands. Okay, I mean, for me, at this stage, I'm very happy that it's Black Captain Commands. You don't want it to be cards that can hit the Fellowship when they're going to Moria. I play Wisdom of Elrond to get Gondor to war, move them 1 step down, which is very nice. And finally, Vanali gets Saruman into Orthanc. So yeah, so for those who haven't watched my channel very much, I'm relatively new to LoME. This is probably like my, I don't know, between 10th and 15th game of LoME. I feel like I'm starting to get the hang of it. I'm kind of getting there, but I still do, I don't know, still capable of being very dumb. Like, if you watch my recent game against Disgruntled Veteran, you'll see that in droves. Yeah, I did not play very well in that game. And everyone pointed out I didn't bloody play Fear 5 foes. I used a ring to move Strider when I could use Fear 5 foes. I'm still annoyed at myself about that. Anyway, I digress. We go on to turn number 2. House of Stewards and the last battle. We won't go back. And Hill Trolls. Fellowship's okay. Vanali allocates 1 eye. Rolls 3 more. So I'm like, I need to just get through this as quick as possible before the barrel. I mean, I know, like, at least if I can do it now, the barrel won't be on me yet. And I say, this is going to go oh so badly. And I move, and I missed. And I say, phew. And the barrel's naturally spawned into Moria. And now I'm like, I gotta just go for it. And I said, I really, really, really don't want to get stuck in there with that thing. Because the way I see it is like, it's one thing going through the balrog, it's another thing getting stuck on the balrog. Like that is really, really bad. And part of the reason that I kind of decided to go for Holland is because it all happened so quickly. There was a relative chance that I could kind of get through this before the balrog got properly set up. So I did get one move into Moria without the balrog being there already. So now I got to just use my ring and just try and bludgeon my way through Moria. And it's a triple hit, so that's not good. And Vanali says, I please Java, and it's a 1. And I breathe very deeply, very deeply. I'm a happy man, very happy. And I say, thank God for that. So that's huge, absolutely huge. And I'm like, you know what? This plan, this crazy plan might actually work. And I might actually be able to get like a, past the Balrog and then have a relatively free run at Mordor with a full fellowship. Kind of like a typical base game where the fellowship has a nice start. Sauron goes to war. The elves go down 1. The Southrons and Easterlings go 1 step closer to war. I get Gondor fully to war. I anticipate that, yeah, Gondor is where I'm kind of eager to protect the most at the moment. I figure it will be attacked, and I want to be able to do mustering in Gondor. And then this crucial moment happens. Vanali doesn't want to play We Won't Go Back. Doesn't want to play can't really play the black, or doesn't want to play the Black Captain Commands. So Vanali draws a card. And Vanali draws the Nazgul Strike. So there were 2 cards here in the deck. The deck of 26, I guess at this point it would have been 26 character cards, I think. Is that right? 25 character cards. 2, 1 in 12. Nazgul Search, Nazgul Strike gets the Nazgul Strike. And with that, the game turns. I get an elite into Dol Amroth. And Ali says, let's try this again. And I'm like, oh, jeebus. Plays the Nazgul Strike. Draws into another red tile. The Witch King pops up in Dimwell Dale. Puts a little Naz guy on me. Hunt roll. So it's 2, 3, 3 reveal. So, what do you do here? What do you do? You're in a bad position. You either eat shit and take it up to 5, or you kill Aragorn and you gamble that you don't hit 1 eye. What are the odds? I'm going to count this so you don't have to watch me count it. 1 in 5. 1 in 3 in 15, 1 in 5 chance of hitting the eye. And I decide to gamble on what are pretty good odds. Efficient Gandalf loss. And I say true, but risky now for Strider. And I think I had a mustard eye this turn. I could have got Galadriel instead of getting Dol Amroth. But at that point, I was like, I probably was still going to have the Narya Gandalf die next turn. So I didn't need to rush Galadriel. I could just, wait till next turn, kill Gandhi, whatever, and then, why rush it? But if I had got Galadriel, it would allow me to at least use a ring to kill an eye. So here it is, 1 in 5 chance of getting an eye. I mean, you know what's going to happen, right? It's an eye, right? I say no. and naturally, him, Strider has an epic fight in the bowels of Moria with the balrog, and they both die, fall down some kind of chasm, fire, and their faces. And good job, Strider. Well done, man. You saved the Fellowship, but you're fucking dead. And now I'm like, and at least the other eye, the third one is an eye. But boy, oh boy, what a start! What a start! So, I mean, I think in base this wouldn't be that bad. This wouldn't be that bad. But in Lords of Middle Earth, in this situation, when you've got the chief on you, it's quite bad. It's quite bad. I could have really used that extra 3 meat shield health. I could have really used his ability to hide. I could have used a lot of stuff. I could have used that not happening. Anyway, we go on to turn number 3. It's Orc Patrol, Threats and Promises. Gets rid of Threats and Promises. I get the last battle. I already had the last battle. I had Axe and Bow and Book of Mazarbul. I decided to change Guide to protect. I can't remember why I changed Guide. It was something to do with in case I got Horn of Gondor maybe at some point. I just wanted to keep Legolas in charge. I said Fellowship's okay if a little bruised. I think I'm being understating things a little bit there. Vanali rolls a metric ton of eyes. I rolled tons of movement. A little bit worried here. Oh, actually, well, need to be a little bit worried about Day Without Dawn. Vanali says, well, I think I'm playing a corruption game. So yeah, the game is very much steering Vanali towards a corruption game. So I flip the Fellowship using. I decide to just gamble it. Just there's a chance there's Day Without Dawn, but I'll risk it. It's that kind of game I'm playing. South runs go to war. Got bring in the Gandhi Man. And Vanali starts moving armies. So Vanali is going for kind of putting rerolls on me, potentially threatening Lorien. And where was the other army move there? Dol Guldur and Morannon to Daggerlad. Okay, so the Morannon army moved up north to Daggerlad as well. I now get Galadriel because I want to get another die in the game. Now I've lost Gandalf. And also there's potential threats on Lorien, so that will be very handy to have. Armies all group up on top of the Fellowship in Dimral Dale. And with my final move, I decide not to move this turn at all. I need to protect my health as much as possible. Okay, they've got a bunch of rerolls on me, but moving against 5 eyes with the chief on me with 3 rerolls, when I need to really prioritize Fellowship health, Shadow Military is going nowhere. Take it slow, boys. I might even consider going into Lorien to heal, if that's possible. And that's less likely to be possible if I move against this many eyes. So I decided instead to just get Axe and Bow on the board. I also, because I have 5 cards, that's quite efficient as well. And Vanali gets Gothmog in Minas Morgul, and we go on to turn number 4. I do get Horn of Gondor and Riders of Theoden, and Vanali gets Phlox, and Day Without Dawn does arrive. Okay. Gets rid of Phlox and gets rid of Day Without Dawn. Okay, still the threat lingers. I say Fellowship quivering in their boots, except the hobbits who don't wear boots. Vanali checks whether Legolas is still in charge, because I was kind of flirting with changing the leadership. He's done a stellar job, so he stays in charge. 2 eyes in the box, and I start doing some mustering. What do I do there? I just get an elite in Minas Tirith. I'm just kind of mustering my. Oh no, okay. Actually, I remember what I was thinking here. I was like, my plan at this point is to get the Fellowship to Minas Tirith, and try and, if I need to, try and heal a Minas Tirith. So my plan is to just buff up Minas Tirith, do as much mustering Minas Tirith as is humanly possible. Get inside here, heal. Hopefully I can get 1 or 2, maybe 3 turns of healing, and then make a dash for Mordor. And hopefully this will also buy me time, because there are already 1 red tile in there. Okay, that's not too bad. But you'll see why that becomes my thinking more so. But yeah, because Vanali starts putting in more red tiles, and I'm like, I'm afraid of Mordor, man. I'm afraid of Mordor. So I move. I don't get hit this time. That's nice. Vanali plays All Patrol. I'm hit and revealed. Beautiful. I use Axe of Bow. Corruption goes up to 3. I mean, there's an argument there for actually taking the 4 corruption to avoid Morgul Wound. I wasn't considering that at the time. Yeah, I think in retrospect I should have actually kept the that for a later turn. I hide. Oh no, I didn't have to worry about Morgul Wound because I could hide anyway straight away because it was an Orc Patrol. Anyway, the army follows me. They're not going for Lorien just yet. The Dagalad army starts marching north, presumably to the Dew line. I play Horn of Gondor. Yep. Wormtongue is put down, which is a good. I think that makes sense. In a game like this, allows you to cycle. Might actually be a game where, with this army here, where Wormtongue could be effective as well in Rohan. I pass. Now I get hit with this as Bane. After being hit with 2 for Orc Patrol. And it's a 3. So that's good. Takes me up to, I say, come on! And I go up to 6 corruption. Got a pretty beefy meat shield, but it's not looking good. It's not looking good. And Vanali says, I'm so glad we scheduled our friendly for this date and time. And I said, I don't think I've ever tried to just bludgeon my way through Moria like this in LoME before, and it's gone about as badly because I've possibly gone. So yeah, it's gone pretty badly. It could have gone worse, but it's gone pretty badly. Gates are closed, is put on the board, allows Vanali to cycle into the Lore of the Elden Rings. I play Rise of Theoden. Not optimal because I've already moved the army to Westermet, but it's okay. You know, it still just clogs up Rohan. Vanali plays Hill Trolls. 1 in, what's this location called? No Man Lands, and 1 in Path Celebrant. I get another elite, so I'm just pumping the elites out of Minas Tirith here. Vanali draws Breaking the Fellowship, and we go on to turn number 5. I get Tommy Bombadils and Hence. So yeah, my cards haven't really been particularly useful so far. I mean, I guess the Horn of Gondor, that's pretty good. Axe and Bow was good. But Stormcrow was good, so not terrible, but a lot of these cards aren't providing much value at the moment. Another red tile for Vanali. Very overstacked hand here. Let's see what she gets rid of. Gets rid of Black Captain Commands, okay. A Madness of Horror, fair enough. Allocates an eye, no more added. I'm like, okay, now's my chance to run. I actually get a move, that's good, that's nice, safe. Vanali plays another red tile. It's not fair. All the lovely tiles. Draws into Cruel Weather. This is mad. Like, you've been through half the deck. It's turn 5. The chief is broken. The chief is stupid and broken, and it's not fair. And I don't like it. What kind of tiles are we on, man? Not even with like particular like +1 -1 Palantirs and +1 Sea Dice, and we're already on half the bloody deck. It's just it's cruel, man. Sauron's welcoming the party ready. He just needs to invite his cat. His fellowship moves again. I could have gone backwards here to Lorien. Maybe. That would be an option. But then, you know, that's a big army. I'm going to be going backwards. Backwards isn't good. That's a big army. Now he rolls 2. So, okay, it's going to get better. Getting a bit better. Lure of the Elden Ring goes on the board. Draws into Morgul Wound. I pass. Draws into Grond. Crazy, man. 11 cards left. Grond is killed. Vanali's not messing around. Just getting rid of anything that isn't hurting the Fellowship. Ruthless. Dagalad goes to Eastern Iminwul. And Neharad goes to Umbar. I pass. Okay, so now this army is very clear. This army is coming round to ruin my my lovely plan of just buffing endlessly forever in Minas Tirith. So I have to do something about that. South Rune goes up to East Rune. So I move the Osgiliath boys away from their usual location up to Druiden Forest. They're given a new post. Meanwhile, the Iron Hills fella goes into Erebor. Druiden is attacked. Do I have any cards to escape away? I do not, but I do have 2 advantageous positions. So I play one of those. If this saves one of my men, which is good. I don't get any hits back. He then scoots away into Minas Tirith, giving me a meaty army in Minas Tirith. I muster again in Minas Tirith, putting me up to 12 HP against 12 HP, but they have more leadership than I do. But I have some nice cards, and Shadow only has 1 strategy card. So that is one thing that's in my advantage, in my favor. They might want to play one of their Crawler's Deaths, I suppose. They do have a Desperate Battle, but I have Daylight and an advantageous position, both of which are very useful in this situation. So, Gothmog joins the crew, and these guys scoot down to Umbar, which makes me think, oh great, you've got Corsairs, don't you? I say sad face, almost mustered 1 more reg in Dol Amroth 2. That's me thinking that I should have mustered 1 more regular in Dol Amroth instead of getting maybe 1 extra elite in Minas Tirith so that I could have had a full stack to defend Dol Amroth from Corsairs. I draw a card. At this point, I'm thinking I need to start going through my deck, which is twice the size of Vanali's deck, and start actually, fighting back on the corruption stakes so that I can actually get through my deck and protect the Fellowship in some way, shape, or form. Otherwise, I'm going to need to get a military victory, and I don't see how that's going to happen this game. So Vanali attacks Minas Tirith, and I fight with an exclamation mark. Vanali chooses a card, I choose a card. Let's see what Vanali goes for. Maybe a Desperate Battle. Goes for Fear of Their Masters. That's the one that allows an extra hit. Wait. That's 2 to the all dice in the combat roll. So Vanali is rolling on... Bloody hell. Vanali's rolling on what, 3s? Oh boy. But any 6 from me is 2 hits. So thankfully it's a good counter with Daylight. And Vanali rolls badly. Because, wait, is it not 3s? 4 until 2 to your dice in your combat roll. Normally rolling on 5s. So that would be 2 hits, shouldn't it? I think that should be 2 hits. I get 1 back. Oh, so Vanali says 2. Oh no, I get 2. Oh wait, so was that Vanali's reroll? That was Vanali's reroll. Oh, I think I misunderstood that. I think I actually only took 1. Okay, that was my bad. Actually, I only took 1 hit there because I'm not really that familiar with that card. So yeah, apologies, Vanali. Yeah, that was a genuine mistake. So now we get Desperate Battle against Advantageous, which is nice. So rolling on 6s. Actually, no, I'll be rolling on 5s. Rolling on 6s and then 5s. No, 5s then 4s, sorry. So 2. So yeah, 2 for Vanali. Shouldn't that be? Yeah, 2 for Vanali and then 2 for me, so that's fine. And that gives me a nice 5 stack to go into Minas Tirith. So I'm relatively pleased with that. I think this army is quite big. It can hold for a while. This army is not that big. It's going to need reinforcements. So I might be able to get like at least 1 turn of healing in Minas Tirith. That's my goal. I think I'm going to need it. I put Smeagol's Nice Master into the pool. And Vanali starts marching up armies from Nirn to Gorgoroth and Umbar up to West Horondor. So basically, just looks like Vanali's throwing pretty much everything. Well, is throwing everything at corruption, just trying to hurt the Fellowship as much as possible. We go on to turn number 6. I draw Kindred of Glorfindel and Wizard's Staff, and Vanali gets Shadow's Lair and Denethor's Folly. Okay, another red tile. I think that's all of the red tiles, but I mean, it's not that unlikely, but they're all there. I mean, Vanali's going to get through this deck regardless, right? What else can you do? I decide to reveal in Druiden Forest to get away from the extra reroll. Naturally, the chief follows me. And we roll. I get this roll, which means that I can hopefully get into Minas Tirith to heal. And luckily for me, Vanali does get 4 attacks. That's a decent number of attacks. But I can do some defensive stuff. I can't remember what my actual thinking was here. We'll see. I move the Fellowship straight away before any sneaky shenanigans can start taking place. I am hit. It's not a reveal, but it's still quite painful. I take away Horns of Gondor, kill Legolas. Boromir takes charge of the Fellowship. And Denethor's Folly is played. That does hurt, actually. That's a really good Denethor's Folly because I'm extra keen to defend Minas Tirith in this situation. So even though it did take an attack die from Vanali, which is nice for me, it is painful. The one game will be useful, says Vanali, and I say yeah. I think Denethor's Folly is all right, actually. I think it's a little bit underrated. I think, you know, especially in Laws of Middle-earth where Minas Tirith is attacked even more often. Right, so what happens here? Gondor Reg goes to Dol Amroth, and I get 1 more in Pelargir. I'm just trying to be a bit annoying here. I could have got one in Lossnack perhaps, but I want to kind of make Pelargir a bit more of a consideration for Vanali. And in the back of my mind, I'm also thinking that could also be like another place to send the Fellowship. If I get really desperate, maybe I can go to Pelargir. I'm not sure I've ever done that before. Vanali does take Lossnack, so takes away that opportunity. Now has a 14 HP army against now my 9 HP army. So 9 versus 14, not easy, but I don't have any leadership and I can't play cards. So going to be tricky to hold on to that. You know, I think if Shadow goes slow, should be able to take that one down, or just has a deadly strife or whatever. Gondor Delanda Est. I didn't know what that meant. It's apparently related to the sacking of Carthage. Basically means I'm screwed. Vanali says, I don't like letting you heal. And I say, but healing is nice. Healing is nice. I even at this point considered maybe one argument for maybe not. Actually, no, it doesn't make any difference. Yeah, I was thinking like maybe I can go to Edoras, but Edoras is even more vulnerable, and you can't hold Edoras. So that's a terrible idea. It would have just got stomped. So you have to go for Minas Tirith for the healing if you want to heal. It's the only option you got. And Vanali's trying to persuade me to go to Dol Amroth. I don't like that idea. I have these extra character dice I don't want to use. I can't play Wizard Staff. I can't play House Stewards. Don't want to play Mithril yet. Don't really want to play an end card yet. Could have played the end card, I guess. But instead I just start moving armies around in Rohan. Especially with this army here. Because part of me was vaguely considering kind of sending the Fellowship to Edoras, which is, in retrospect, a stupid idea. But I was thinking, if I get a big army there and then start mustering the Rohirrim, I could make that a pain in the ass. Especially if this army gets churned up. But yeah, I think that's, looking back, that was madness. And luckily I didn't do it. So Vanali uses Gothmog's ability to get an extra elite into Minas Tirith. I get the Elves to War finally. This extra Sauron Reg goes to Moria and to Dol Guldur. So that's Vanali, I guess, protecting herself for in case I start doing anything sneaky with the Elves. No, thank you. I think that's a little bit. I don't think it's a threat anywhere near it yet, but I suppose actually, if I was moving last, I could have done a move, but I'm not moving last this turn. I must have once in Lorien because there is still this giant army sitting outside, and I would like to have that one extra buffer in case Path Calibrant army does decide to go and sit on Lorien. Vanali uses a ring, draws a strategy card this time, and gets half-orcs and goblin men. Presumably Vanali basically just wants any card to play in combat. And that is a very good card to play in this situation where you have 5 elites, so that's pleasant. Vanali says commit to the free people's military victory. I just I know Vanali's joking here. But yeah, with no chance of getting Aragorn, and I mean, where do you go? If I'd had Gimli this game with all these extra random character dice, I could have got the dwarves to war and done something with that. But as things stand, there's no way in hell I can see there being any way of doing anything military focused at the moment. I combined the Edoras army up in Western Met. This was a mistake. This was actually a mistake. With Wormtongue on the table, I should have left Edoras with a dude in it, because that means that Wormtongue, because the only way you can take Edoras without activating the Rohan is if Edoras is completely empty. And by emptying Edoras myself, it means the Wormtongue can be completely fully effective. And plus, I kind of did it because for the sake of it, because I just had an extra character die. But all I'm really gaining there is like, what? I guess one HP extra in Helm's Deep, one extra leader in Helm's Deep, but also too big an army. So I think it would have been more efficient to just, yeah. Didn't consider the Wormtongue factor. Rare that Wormtongue factor is a thing, but little mistake there. Denethor place the weak come to kill. Perfect. I say nice. Vanali rolls absolute trash. I say more of that, please. I get 2. The post, 2 from the post. Yeah, the post delivers. Hey. Vanali presses. Plays Crawler's Death. I was glad to see the back of Panther of Orthanc. Although I did just learn today that you can't actually get... It would be a bit OP, but you can't get double cycling from the Panther of Orthanc and the Chief. So Panther of Orthanc is slightly weakened by the fact that the Chief is on the board. Vanali again rolls absolute stinky poo-poo. I roll 2. Vanali says great job Nazgul and stops. So I'm going to get at least a heal. I'm going to get at least 1 turn of healing. How nice. And I say, all right, I do get to Vacation Emeritus after all. Vanali gets a Deadly Strife. So that's probably the end for that. I get Shield Wall / Imrahil and another Ent card. It's got 2 Ent cards. We talk about how if it's a Shadow Controlled Stronghold, there's an extra reroll. So it would be 3 rerolls, but doesn't draw tiles. Yeah. I didn't know that rule, actually. That's an interesting one. And Gladriel's die is gone. I say Fellowship toasty and safe, kinda. I roll a ton of wills, which is scary. I don't know that Day Without Dawn is gone. I start mustering more in Pelargir and in Woodland Realm, just because in Woodland Realm, like, you never know in these games when, you know, an army can just sneak up. Like, the dwarves aren't anywhere near war. Often, it can take you by surprise. You have one roll where you get no musters, and then suddenly they get Horde from the east or whatever, and then you got a whole shebang happening, and you have to use a ring to get 1 elite into Woodland Realm, and you're like, oh, why did I wait? So I just thought, you know, I'll just get 1 little schmuck up in Woodland Realm. Shelob is played the final. So this is look at this beautiful pool that's waiting for me. Once these red tiles all go in. Vanali says welcoming committee is ready. I draw a card. What do I draw? Draw into Challenge the King / Sudden Strike. Warmestone Torg's on the table, which is awkward while I've got Mithril Code and Sting. However, if I can declare back into Minas Tirith, I can get rid of it. Pass. Vanali does some shuffling around to get armies into Minas Tirith. I pass again. Vanali is having a bad game dice-wise at this point. -6. Yeah, these are correct. Sorry, that's a shadow. Yeah, -7. Yeah, really bad dice, the shadow. Really bad. Mine aren't great, but not as bad as the shadow, certainly. This army comes up here, heading towards probably to try and just get a cheap Dale if that becomes a point later in the game. Minas Tirith's attacked. We play the Deadly Strife. I still can't play cards. Deadly Strife. We're not messing around. Gets 4 hits. I get 5 hits back. So they are still hanging on in there. There's only 8 HP against 3, which is not a guarantee. I still can't do anything. Vanali presses, gets 2 hits to my 1 hit. And one final roll, and doesn't hit on the final thing. It's crazy. And I get 1 hit with 1 die, which is always the way the game does. It always does that. Vanali says it's clearly a traitor among us. I say it's probably Gothmog. He wants the Witch King's job. Can't trust that guy. And I keep mustering Peligir, because now I'm like, you know what? You know what? I can actually get the Fellowship into here. And maybe hold it, because this army's not very big anymore. And there's not much going on here, and I could even defend it with the Dol Amroth guys. So Minas Tirith attacked again. It's 1 regular. How many rounds can it last? It cannot last any more rounds, sadly. He gets 1 hit with him, which is actually quite important. This army's, yeah, these are small armies. Vanali's on the board on turn 7. 2 victory points. I decide to move the Fellowship. It's a 6 on... and so I've got 2 options here. 2 options. So either I go to South Thillion or North Thillion, and I go rush for Mordor against the gates are closed and a pool that contains Shmigul, but 4 red tiles, a bunch of eyes, and, you know, Cruel Weather's very likely to be in their hand. And I think I'm not going... The way things stand right now, with only Mithril Coat in hand, I just don't think I'm going to survive in Mordor. I think I'm going to get killed in Mordor with that many red tiles. So I make a decision. Maybe this is idiotic. Maybe this is foolish. Maybe I am a silly fool. I decide... I'm actually should be only 1 move this turn. I shouldn't have been on 2. That was a mistake. I just hadn't updated it previously, I don't think. I think that's right. And I go to Osgiliath to kind of see what happens. What happens here? They start mustering in Umbar. I get Elrond Hubbard because I've lost Galadriel's die, and I might need that extra, you know, Elrond power. More mustering in Umbar. And we go on to turn number 8. Gwaihir comes out, as does Rangers of the North, and Pits of Mordor, and Lidasai gets killed. I kill Chandra the King. Kindred of Glorfindel is also killed, and we start the rolls. I get a bunch of wills and character dice. I hide straight away. Vanali puts the swine on me, the Swinehund. I pass again. Foul Thing with the Deepest played. It's a 2 because everything hits. Forced random. You draw. Boromir's dead. So now, and it's Warmasaur and Toil. And not looking good, man. Not looking good. I think I lost something not that great there. So I wasn't too sad about that. But I'm not feeling good. I'm drawing character cards now, still. Getting gradually through the deck. I get 3 rings of the Elven Kings. Sauron Red goes to Moria and to Umbar. So Vanali is understandably playing it quite safe. Just wants to try and, again, threaten the Fellowship. I play range to the north while before this army attacks Dale. I get 1 hit, buff up Dale. So another Reg goes to Umbar. Really getting through those regs. I keep buffing Peligir, and I buff again another leader in Dol Amroth. This big army starts coming down. Is it going to Helm's Deep? Probably. So I'm a little bit worried about the Westmere army now. I do move the Fellowship. It's not hit. Very good. Vanali says, be right back doing math. Vanali says, okay, math says 73.6% of the time this is the right play. Let's see if it's the other 24.4%. Pits of Mordor. I don't know what the other play would be there. Don't really understand that one. If you're watching this finale, please explain. I'm not sure. I didn't really get it. Okay, so now I can either go for Mordor which is probably the right thing to do. But I just think like I got like a 50% chance of getting revealed, and then I'm going to get 3 bloody tiles, man. 3 tiles. That's going to wipe out these schmucks. Then I'm going to be on like, I would say there's a very, very feasible chance that could be going into water. Unless I get a really nice roll, you know, don't hit a 5 on 3 dice. There's a very solid chance I'm going to Mordor on this. And there's also a huge chance that he's got, I'm presuming that he's got either Cruel Weather or potentially Nazgul Search. So if they play Nazgul Search, then I'm 100% getting like a ton of pain. Very likely a ton of pain. So I decide, I say like Mordor is bad. It could very well eat 3 tiles here. Although I do have a 25% chance of getting the S-Man's Schmeagol. Well overdue. And I decide to go, I decide not to move the Fellowship into Mordor. Decide instead to get this Western army into Helm's Deep. Don't even know what I did with the second move there. I moved Dol Amroth army to Lamadin to try and defend Pelargir. Captain of Despair is played. And I think, oh yeah, Vanali accidentally undid a card draw, and it was Corsairs apparently, so that does kind of suck. Although Corsairs isn't huge. I mean, I suppose it's Deadly Strife. That is really powerful. Instead gets the King's Revealed, which is not as good. I get Power 2 Great, and you know the way there. Oh, you know the way there. Why did I get rid of you know the way there? What? Oh man, I didn't even notice that. This is like me being a Lords of Middle Earth noob. I think I just saw that card and confused it with the one that the kind of trashy one that the shadow has. Is not very good. I could have really used that card right now. I could have really used with doubling the chances of getting bloody Smeagol. I mean, what would I have got rid of? I could happily got rid of like a Imrahil or an end card for that, to be honest. Yeah, that was a mistake. That was a mistake. Anyway, one of many. I get into Pelargir. We forgot at this point. We should have got rid of Warmith's on Tor there because I've declared. There's only one more chance to use it, but I should have got rid of it. So now I move my army to defend Pelargir. So that we're having some pretty epic defense of the Fellowship here. They're really the forces of good are really banding together to defend Frodo and the boys. I also what did I do there? Move the North Regular from Old Forest Road up to Dale. Armies group up in West Rondor, and South Athelion moves. Minas Morgul moves to South Athelion. Weeper the Swifter is drawn. Gwaihir is killed. Yeah, the other reason I did it is because also I wanted more time. Because once you get into Mordor, you're kind of on a clock, right? You're pressured to move every turn. I was like, if I get more time, I can get a will, which can kill. The gates are closed. I can get rid of Warmith's on Toil. I can cycle cards. I can heal. I can also just cycle cards and then get more like get more character cards, get more blue tiles in the pool, maybe get Bilbo's Song, maybe get There Is Another Way, maybe get Athelas, and just make it so when I do go into Mordor, then I'm in a better position, like a slightly better position than I would have been trying to force it a couple turns earlier. So I'm kind of just like trying to bide my time and buy the Fellowship a little bit of time. So yeah, this army all meets up in Osgiliath. It's going to be like a 10 against an 8. I play Lord of the Elven Rings, get my 1, get my Gandalf ring back. That's good. Ring Racer Abroad. Cycles into Dreadful Spell. So really running out of character cards at this point. So at least I know I can't get hit with too much more painful stuff. Right, so now this big army attacks into Pelargir. Doesn't play a card though. And I have a couple of decent cards. I decide to save them for the rounds when we're fighting in open warfare. I think that's what I did. I get 1. Vanali gets none, because Vanali can't roll dice well this game. Now we get the card. So they're terrible versus Shield Wall, which I saved. Vanali gets 1 because of shield wall. The shield wall actually does a job, and I get 3. So good job, Pelogirins. Vanali presses. Apparently I'll get some kind of achievement there if I won the game. I play no quarter against Cruel Weather, so not even holding on to Cruel Weather at this point, which I'm happy to see. Although Vanali is going to get Nazgul Search, which is kind of similar. Potentially even more painful, actually. Vanali this time gets 3 hits. I get 2 hits. Oh no, 3 hits because of no quarter. And now it's 4 versus 3, and Vanali is forced to stop. And I'm like, I might get another little heal, which is what my plan was all along. And I get another muster, because I've run out of elites at this point. I get a muster and then Regan, Pelagir, and an elite in Dol Amroth. There goes the last of the Force Pool. So I fully mustered the Gondorians at this point. Vanali takes fold, and this is when I'm like, I'm an idiot. I should have left the elite in Edoras to prevent this from happening. Because now Vanali's going to be able to take Edoras and not put the Rohan to warp because of Wormtongue. I'm now doing my plan of cycling cards, and I do... Well, I'm drawing cards even, and I do draw into the File of Galadriel, which is my plan. Pelagir is attacked, no cards. I get my big defensive bonus again, so Vanali only gets 1 hit. I get 3 back. So the Gondorians doing a great job today. Militarily, fantastic. Vanali says at least the army cannot get bigger, which is true, but Vanali has to stop. I put File in the pool. Vanali takes Edoras, and we go on to turn number 10. I draw Athalas, so I'm getting those cards finally. And Vanali gets Candles of Corpses and Many Kings. Only 1 card left in the deck for Vanali. There wasn't actually Metric Ton of Eyes. Don't I say wow. Vanali says move, please. I don't want to move. I play Athalas straight away. I get 1 heal, which is better than nothing. I'll say that much. But I've got corruption down to 2. So I'm now on net -2 corruption, and I'm 1, 2, 3 steps away from Mordor. More reinforcements come to try and kill Pelagir. I'm still cycling cards, get Mirror of Galadriel. Big armies meet up in Osgiliath. I'm cycling again, get an Ent card. I take back Fold with the Western Met guy just to be annoying. And I also move the North Downs guy up to Eton Moors. Dwarves start going down as well, because I got time to kill. I got, why not? I'm gonna have to defend. Pelagir gets attacked. Surely it's gonna die this time. Surely. I don't really have much in the way of defense. I do have a heroic death though. That's good. Great host against heroic death. Vanali gets 1. I get 1 back, but because of my heroic death that the great host doesn't trigger, I decide to stay. Maybe suicidal at this point. Now I play the Daylight. Vanali gets 1 hit. I get 2 hits back. So amazingly, they're still hanging on in there. And at that point, I give up the Ghost. I know that I'd rather have this defensive force to defend Dol Amroth. I know that it's not going to last any longer. They've ridden their luck for much longer than expected. But I do lose my rerolls. They're going to have rerolls on me now. I say the hijinks are over. And I get this elite closer to Rivendell. I join these armies up in Dol Amroth so that they can't get weakened or killed completely before they go and defend. Leave 1 behind to be annoying. And we go on to turn 11. Vanali draws Corsairs and Nazgul Search, last character card on turn 11. I did think about hanging on to a Power 2. Was it Tom Bombadil, a Power 2 Great? I think it was Power 2 Great, just because it was fairly likely that Vanali could run out of character cards. But Vanali knows the game so well that I would presume Vanali would hold on to 1 character card so that she could use that to take down Power 2 Great. But it wasn't in the back of my mind. I was like, that would be quite funny if I made it so the elves can never be conquered. 3 eyes in the pool in total. I now have to move the Fellowship. Can't wait around any longer. They get a hit. It's a 2. Gimli dies. This is the downside of it. Warm Restore and Toil. And I lose Mithril Coat. And I'm like... I'm actually... Despite the fact that I get quite emotional when I watch the replays of this game, when I play the game, I'm pretty stoic. I don't really react that much. I'm pretty just in the zone. Like, I don't really... I'm just kind of just staring at the screen. When this happened, I was just like, oh, fucking hell. Like, I was genuinely, like, annoyed. Because I was like, that's 1 in, like, 5. It's the only one I wanted to keep. I felt like I needed that. I felt like I really needed that to have a chance of winning the game. And then Vanali remembers, because Vanali knows the rules better than me. God bless you, Vanali. Vanali remembers that I should have got rid of Warm Restore and Toil when I declared into Pelagia, and I get my card back. Can't see it, but it is Mithril Coat and Sting. I say thanks. Embarrassed Mustard, because Vanali's probably thinking about Concerts now. I move again. I'm hit again. I draw Smeagol! Yes! I needed that so badly. If only I'd put the other 2 freaking Smeagol tiles in there. And actually read what that stupid card did, because that would maybe save Gimli as well. And then also meant Smeagol was like double value as well. I say the Ratman is here. More mustering in Umbar. I pass. I killed the gates are closed, as was my intent. I needed to kill that bloody thing. More mustering in Umbar. This little guy from North London starts going to Cardland. Sneaky little mofo. I presume that is for a Shadows Gather or Shadow Lengthens play. I say here it comes. Devices don't ride boats are illegal. And I start trying to be sneaky and try and block the Shadows Gather, but then I realised that if you go to Holland and block it, they can just go through North Dunland anyway, so it doesn't do anything. I guess the only thing you could do is what? Move to North Dunland. Does Shadows Gather have to be through? No, it wouldn't work anyway, would it? I don't think it has to be free for a free region. Start mustering more elites in Woodland Realm. So if this army does take Dale, I can attack back with an army that's actually at war, if I need to. Fellowship moves again. I think at this point, I was actually starting to think I can't wait around anymore. Like, time is now starting to become an issue, because I know that Vanali is going to get this pretty soon. So that'll be up to 6. There's this massive 2 massive armies. If they do their job, then they're up to 8. And then Vanali just needs 2 more points. And there's not an obvious route to 2 more points, but 2 cities maybe, you know, the Shire, and that's presumably what Vanali's thinking about, Dale and the Shire, or something like that. So now I'm like, yeah, doesn't feel great moving into Mordor at this point, but these pools aren't that bad. These tiles aren't that bad. So maybe I'll be all right. Vanali gets, of course, I get the 3. I was gonna kill. You'd have to take Smeagol, and so we discuss it. And then actually, Vanali actually kind of helps me here, and I decide instead to go random, because this means that Vanali doesn't get what's it called? We shall get it, and I also still a chance of me then hitting the other Smeagol tile, which would be very lucky. So that is my hope. Keeping that Smeagol tile active, not getting we shall get it on the board, just generally delaying that as much as I can. Base Pippin separates. So yeah, Vanali's really carrying the rules side of things in this game. And inevitably, Nazgul Search is played, naturally. Of course, it's a card that gets value, because that's how every single card that's been played has got good value against the Fellowship this game. Vanali is going to be a very fun Mordor pool. I sob. There's another thing. I was actually thinking about delaying the game so much that I could actually reshuffle the pool. That wasn't going to be possible this game. I think I would have probably had to go to Lorien to do that. Really slow it down. But yeah, that was a potential. If I hadn't hit Smeagol, maybe that would have been possible. I'm not sure. If then I got to Gollum outside of Mordor. Corsairs is played. Glamorous is put on siege. Oh no, goes to instead goes to Lamedon, which is actually a clever play because I can't muster anymore, and it just kills this, attacks this army, this one-man army. I scout away, I think. Yeah, I scout to Eric, and I draw to Redana Knight, and I'll go alone. Vanali gets just Rachel Dullendings because can't get a character card. Go into the pool. This is the beautiful pool that I got to deal with here. A sea of red tiles, a bunch of eyes. One, two, three, four, five. Five good tiles, I'd say. Vanali, this is going to be a very swingy Mordor. Adds 0 eyes to the hunt. Rolls 2. I flip. I get a bunch of movement, which is potentially good. I don't know. Candles gets 1 hit. Balances out Athelas. I move. It's an eye to reveal. I decide to eat them both because I want to keep that. I need every like tile I can possibly get at this point. Because, you know, this Smeagol tile is actually like crucial. Really crucial. Really need it. I decide to eat it. Actually, I know, yeah, I know that they're going to play Morgul Wound because I could have taken 1 more corruption. How much did I take there, actually? Yeah, I decided to take it. I could have... Is there anything? Actually, no. There's nothing I could have done there. I had to reveal regardless, right? Yeah. Knew that was coming. Hide. Bring in... The mouth comes into play. The OG mouth. Mouth flips. Allows an attack on... Where did that go? Army went to Western Met. Still passing. The Lamps is attacked. Put on the siege. Captain of Despair is factoring in, so another eye is in there effectively now. I play Mithril Code and Sting. I say I think I got that on turn 1. That's true, I did. Dalamoth, it gets 1 hit against Dalamoth with Dreadful Spells. So yeah, only 1 more character card in the whole game now for the Shadow. And I reinforce in Woodland Realm again to just try and, again, basically protect Dale. Lamedon's attacked. I decided to go for just a wild card attack from Eric into Lamedon here, just on the vain hope I could maybe take back Peligir or waste a die. He fails and dies. Good job. The Lamroth is attacked. Actually decides to switch kings, brings in the proper Witch King, who doesn't sniff anuses for a living. And we go on to turn number 13. I get Elven Rope and King Brands, and Orcs and Vanali just gets Orcs multiplying again. I decide to play a blue tile first because I need to increase my odds at all costs. I need to move, but I need to increase my chances of not dying. It's very important. Vanali goes for Dol Amroth. Relentless Assault against Daring Defiance. So I cancel the Relentless Assault, which could be really helpful actually here. But Vanali then rolls 4 6s, so maybe not. But having said that, Vanali was really overdue that. Vanali has had horrible dice. -5 on 6s, and that's after Vanali just rolled 4 6s. So prior to that would have been like around -8 on 6s. I'm bad, but Vanali's worse. So yeah, Vanali's had very bad dice this game. I get 2 back. But anyway, yeah, it's dead. Delamas is dead. And Vanali's now up to 6 victory points. All right, so where was I? So I use a ring to move. Oh yeah, okay, I must have used Elrond's ability, I guess. So I was planning on trying to move multiple times against this single eye, I guess, this turn. And I hit a red. Which was inevitable. And the way I see it is, at this point, I don't really want to use Mithril on the red, because this is like the kindest of the reds. It does the least damage. the majority of the time. But equally, I'm like, I don't have time to play around anymore. I've actually made this pool look a lot nicer, to be fair, as well, with the 3 blue tiles as well. So I'm like, I just don't. I think there's a fair chance that Vanali gets the military victory if I do take my time. Looking back, was I being a little bit too cautious? Because okay, Vanali's got a very good chance of taking Helm's Deep. That takes you up to 8. But where does Vanali get the other 2 victory points? I mean, this is War of the Ring. Cards like Shadows Gather exist. You know, this army could go up to here. This army could go to here. It's not that unlikely. You know, like I can't remember. Has New Powers Rising been played this game? Probably not. New Powers Rising, Shadows Gather. You can just get in one turn. You can just get blitzed. What's my Elven Force pool like? I can just about defend Grey Havens, but like, put it this way, like I probably need to win. There's a fair chance that I need to win it next turn. I need to get over the line next turn. And if I don't roll enough movement, I might not be able to do that. So I say I don't have time to eat that anymore. I use Mithril, and I get the other Smeagol. And I'm up to step 2. And I say, good old Smeagol. Oh, Smeagy! Folder's attacked. I play Confusion. Doesn't work. Get 1 hit back, which is handy. But yeah, that guy wasted some time. That was good. I move again because there's still only 1. And I get, yeah, mad. Yeah, because the first time I used the Elrond thing, then I get a heal. I get the Smeagol Nice Master. I'm 2 steps away. And I'm actually on like 6 corruption. And I say, oh, and then Vanali says, I think Java has selected its winner. And I say, long way to go. And the Edoras army goes to Western Met. I pass. Helm's Deep's put under siege. So I can't lose the game this turn, I don't think. I mean, I couldn't... I don't... I suppose it's theoretically possible. 1 attack. 2 attacks. Mouth ability. Ring. But Vanali doesn't have a ring. So no, I don't think it is possible. With the cards that she has. So yeah, it's not possible for Vanali to win the game this turn. And I don't know that, but Vanali has already discarded, I think, both Ring Race Abroad and Black Captive commands, if I'm correct. Anyway, I play King Brands, which makes it even more difficult. I draw into Danes, which is nice. Vanali draws Deadly Strife. Would you mind letting me walk into Lorien? I really want to play Return to Valinor. And I'm like, are you just trying to just tell me you've got a Deadly Strife to try and bait out one of my cards, or are you bluffing? I'm like, there's some mind games going on here. But yeah, obviously when you say Return to Valinor, it means I know that Vanali's got a Deadly Strife. But then it's like, would you say that and then just play it? Is it too obvious? It was almost like, am I being double bluffed here? I just take it at face value and decide to play Nameless Wood, thinking that means I could get potentially 7 hits. Vanali gets 4, I get 6, so absolutely decimate that Helm's Deep army. But my force inside isn't very big either. I pass. Reinforcements come from Orthanc to Fordsweisen, and Cardlin goes to South Ered Luin, just outside Shire. The Dwarves go to war, because then that gives me another shot of potentially attacking into Dale, or even just defending Dale. The mouth is flipped, and this guy goes to the Gap of... I'm not sure what that was about. Was that... Oh, because 1, 2... Yeah, I'm not sure why that happened. Maybe just wanted to chat with Tom Bombadil, apparently. Okay, so I had a game the other day. I think it was the game against, if you watch the game with Disgruntled Veteran, I say I probably lost the game the day when I didn't move in this situation, then proceeded to not roll enough movement the following turn. Didn't have any rings that time, though. So I was like, do I move here against 3 eyes? Doesn't feel great. Doesn't feel great. If I don't move, then what if Vanali does have some amazing turn and manages to win the game next turn? Then I don't roll enough movement. I'm going to be really kicking myself. And I think it was always like luck of the draw in Mordor, regardless. But like I did probably lose because I didn't move in this situation. And there's always a very decent chance that the shadow just rolls 3 eyes anyway. That happens all the time, especially on like 10 dice. So I was like, I think I mulled over this for like probably a good 3 or 4 or 5 minutes, being really annoying. We have a chat. Blah 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 blah. I decide to move, and I hit a red tile, which, to be fair, well overdue. Schmiegi dies, Hobbit dies, and We Shall Get It comes into play. I say I can reveal. I decide not to reveal because I presume that Vanali has a hurt the fellowship card like breaking, which Vanali does. So I eat the corruption, go up to 9 corruption. Also multiplying against played, and we go on to turn number 14. Really could do with like some of the other good cards that are left in this freaking deck. I've been drawing cards forever, and I think I've got like Athelas in 10 cards or something like that. Like, I think there must be another blue tile. There's at least 3 or 4 really good cards left in this deck that I could really do with, and I haven't. They're all at the bottom of the deck. Yeah, so naturally, as I said, 3 eyes doesn't make a difference. I'm like, I need to try and find more good cards, so I start drawing. I draw Dead Men, Woo-hoo. Vanali says that she'd need to be perfectly efficient to beat me militarily. I just don't think it's possible to win militarily this round, pretty much. Maybe there's some very specific way of doing it. Does Vanali have Shadows Gather? Oh, finally got Shadows Gather. Finally. So that opens things up a bit. 1, 2, 3. So can get to here with this army. That's big. Can get 4 to here. 1, if you move them there, then do it. I think I might have kept the army in Cardland to then. I guess this at least gives you a 1 shot. Helm's Deep is attacked. Can Vanali finish off Helm's Deep? I play Ent's Rage. Vanali does 1 hit. I do 3 hits because of Ent's Rage. Vanali presses. No cards. I play Shield Wall. Vanali gets no hits. I get 1 hit back. So yeah, Vanali's struggling in these combats. Again, unlucky. Gets an Elite in Moria. I draw another card. I draw Wind from the West. So this is good because this means I can kill We Shall Get It, which is great. Like, I love that. Sound Elite goes to Moria again, buffing up a big army in Moria. I play Wind from the West. Kill We Shall Get It. Beautiful. Never seen that done before, but it's really good. Elite into Orthanc. And Vanali says, be warned that you haven't moved or hid this turn, thanks. And on the base of that, I decide to move. Looking back, if I'd been a little bit more calculating and thought about it, is moving here the right play? You know, okay, if I don't move, I'm going to eat 1 corruption, right? But there are some really good cards that I could really use that might increase my chance of winning the game. A, by expanding the pool. B, by healing me, like Bilbo Song is 2 healing. I don't believe I played Bilbo Song. Bilbo Song is not there. So, yeah, so Bilbo Song is 2, so I would have eaten 1 to, you know, have a reasonable chance of drawing Bilbo Song, which would counteract that and more. I think there is another way, which is another healing card, which would have also balanced that out. So, and I do have rings left. But when Vanali says that if I don't move this turn, I'm just going to eat a free corruption, go up to corruption 10, that just feels really bad. So I decide to move. And there is a... Yeah, I think this was probably a mistake. It was 1, 2, 3, 4. Had a very good chance of hitting a bad tile. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So yeah. So 40% chance of not necessarily dying, but being hurt badly. I do have Galadriel, so if I get an eye, I get another go at it. But I decide to go for it. Here goes nothing. I hit Shelob. And I die. Yay! And I die. So yeah. So I mean, what to say? I think the crucial decisions I made were obviously declaring in Holland rather than the high pass, based on the horrible dice that that Vanali had. Maybe just going to high pass. I mean, maybe I would have lost anyway. Maybe the way the chief did so well this game. Maybe, you know. But having said that, I don't know. Yeah, like every single Tardarin card hit and did damage, I think. You know, not always huge damage, but like 3 for Ista's Bane. I think it was like 2 for All Patrol, 1 for Cans of Corpses, 1 for Fouling from the Deep. It was just, yeah, it was pretty brutal. Then you get an eye for 3 for Gandhi from the Nazgul Strike, plus the eye for the Balrog to kill Aragorn Strider. It's, I don't know. I feel like if I'd gone into Mordor early, maybe the same thing happens. Like I could still just as easily have died. You know, I would have certainly got through nowhere near most of the cards. I think I got a bit screwed by like we'd look at it. I think we got a bit in the chat, but like I draw the cards that were left, and it's Elven Cloaks, Safe Pass in the Dark, Bilbo's Song. And they're like, what is this, man? 4 cards. It's just so stupid. What is that? And the Eagles are coming. Yeah. Which is the one I drew. I drew the Eagles coming, for fuck's sake. Oh no. Would I have drawn the Eagles coming? But yeah, I don't know. I think let me know your thoughts. Was I insane to go through Moria? I think I got pretty unlucky. Pretty punished, quite harshly. Should I have gone to Pelargir? Was that a smart play? Was that a dumb play? I think it was. I think it was reasonable. I think big mistakes I made looking back. Little one in Edoras. Big one by I think discarding that Gollum card, that Smeagol card, given the small size of the pool. I think that was probably a really dumb idea. I should have done that. That might have saved Gimli, which then might have just got me over the line. But I think I did pretty well in pretty terrible circumstances, but just got really punished for this slightly reckless play, risking Moria. But Vanali played it well, really drilled in hard on the corruption, which is the right thing to do in this situation. And yeah, it worked. It worked. But anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. Peace out. Ciao, ciao. Bye-bye. Love you. Actually, let's have a look at the card, the stats. Yeah, so by the end, the dice were pretty balanced on 6s. Very bad shadow 5s, which can really make a difference in desperate battles and deadly strifes, etc. Very high on eyes, or relatively high on eyes. I was very high on wills, low on musters. Yeah, whatever. Ciao, ciao. Bye-bye.